Hey, how's it going, everyone? I want to do an update on my greenhouse. It's a polar vortex outside, super cold. Wind is blowing, snowed in. So I just wanted to kind of make a quick assessment of this avocado tree, which has Lila, Mexicola, and Reed grafted to it. And kind of look at it one more time. Last night I measured the temperature outside and it was 15 degrees outside and 23 in here. And by morning time, when I look at the thermometer, the low in here was 15. So outside must have been close to 10. And the humidity low was 11 and high was 79. So notice Reed is gone. Reed's got leaf damage, stem damage, even from the previous cold before it even got this cold. Lila looking strong still. It's said to handle down to 15, and 15 is what we got. So this was a real test for Lila, and Lila passes with flying colors. It might even handle lower than that, possibly. But if you notice, the leaves are still upright, still looking pretty good. Whereas, Reed is down. There's another graft of an avocado here. You can see if the stem of the leaf is brown, that's cold damage. Lamb Hass. I even got some snow that blew in. There's a little crack up there from the fan. So it looks like it snowed in here, but it's just because the fan is able to pull the tiniest of flakes through the crack right next to the fan there. I'm gonna have to figure something out. So now it looks like it got snowed in, and look at my Meyer lemon. It's got snow on the leaves. But yeah, Lamb Hass, definitely not a cold hardy avocado. But Lila, look at that. Especially some of the fresher leaves on top don't look so great, but the mature leaves, pass with flying colors. No stem damage, no leaf damage. This is a branch of Mexicola right above it. Notice Mexicola, the leaves are sagging down. So after hitting 15, even when it was 18, the leaves have already started kind of looking a little shy. And they're kind of coming off. You see that? If you kind of shake it, the leaves are coming off. They're not holding on. Look at that. So that's Mexicola. It just wants to lose all the leaves. Whereas, Lila, well, some of them fell off too, but it's looking better. The leaves aren't sagging. If you shake it, maybe see, like, these are holding on. Whereas Mexicola, see that? All the leaves are just coming off. So Mexicola not quite as cold hardy as Lila. There's another really cold hardy avocado out there called Joey. Another one called Del Rio, which is also referred to as Del Rio. So if you want the most cold hardy of all the avocados, it's going to be Del Rio, which is also named Fantastic. That's the most cold hardy one. However, the avocados aren't as big as they are on Lila. Del Rio is also said to be the tastiest of all the cold hardy avocados. So perhaps Del Rio, which is also called Fantastic, is a good one to try. I'm probably gonna have to get one and try it out, but so far Lila survived the 15-degree drop, and it's looking good. We're supposed to get a colder night here pretty soon, so I'm hoping that it can survive that. But it got really cold. Notice this is a tangerine, the Myra lemon, looking sad. We got some lemons here. Bay leaf right here. Oh, the Peruvian apple cactus, I forgot to mention that. That froze solid. And here's some that are right next to the heater. So I also have 2 space heaters running over here. And I got a little fan blowing at them to kind of blow the heat around the greenhouse. So in conjunction with the fan that blows air from underground back into the greenhouse, I have these heaters which helped with the really low temperature that we have here for a week. The Peruvian apple cactus froze solid, and then once it thaws, it basically turns into jello, and so it's basically a goner. So these are gonna die. I did not get any fruit to ripen on them. You can see that one's leaning over. I'm gonna have to remove them before they fall and crush the avocado. But the Peruvian apple cactus is a no-go down here. I'm probably gonna be transferring to a little more cold hardy stuff. Just maybe hang on to some cold hardy citrus. Keep testing the avocado in here. And pomegranate. Pomegranate is quite cold hardy. It loses all its leaves and withstands really low temperatures. Notice the ground temperature has dropped all the way down to 39. So basically not getting much effect now from my GAHT geothermal system. So that's another thing to note. Everyone that wants to build a GAHT system in the greenhouse, know the limitations of this, because well before the winter, the coldest days of the winter came, I have depleted all the energy that I have stored in the ground. It's completely depleted, so it's basically now, useless for, I mean, it still helps. It's maybe blowing 35-degree air or 34-degree air from the tubes, whereas maybe it could drop down to 15, so it's helping, but it's not as effective now in the winter. One of the reasons is I couldn't bury the tubes lower than 3 feet because of the high water table here. And so what you end up having is kind of like a hybrid system between geothermal and ground to air heat transfer. So now I'm not getting the full effect of the ground to air heat transfer because I've depleted it. And also I'm not getting geothermal because I'm not deep enough to get the stable ground temperatures. So what I end up with is I need to grow some more cold or hardier stuff here, because I don't want to be running more. Yeah, I can put in a propane heater, I can put in bigger heaters, and I can heat this place. But it's so open and so tall. It's almost 20 feet tall in the center. Heat dissipation is just really quick, even though I'm using Solex greenhouse plastic, which has like a R value of 2.1 or somewhere around there. And even that, it really is nothing, because you get the cold just comes right through it. It freezes right up against the plastic. I mean, this is just frozen on the inside. So what you need is a bigger air layer in between. If I made like a third layer, I could possibly hold more heat. But I don't want to be fighting an uphill battle here. So I've decided to let things go. Basically, nature takes its course. If things are not going to survive, I'm not going to continue to run propane in here to try and save it. Pineapple guava, still kicking. I got this seedling lemon. that's still kicking in here. I got Bloom Sweet grapefruit, still kicking. Pawpaws, maybe I'll plant some more pawpaws in here. I have 2 that are in the ground. But yeah, I could also grow maypop. Could probably grow regular passion fruit also, because they'll die to the ground, but they'll sprout up and possibly still fruit. Owari Satsuma, looking sad. You know, the tip died back, but still kicking. Owari Satsuma, pretty cold hardy. All my cacti seem to have frozen. So the Peruvian apple feels like jello. This one feels like it's still kicking, so I don't know. We'll see. The reason why I can tell which one is jello-like is because the temperature in here right now is 65 because the sun came out. Even though it's still like 15, 16 outside, but some of these have begun to thaw and they feel like jello. Here's a seedling avocado that my brother Oleg planted, and that is not cold hardy at all. So I had to let it go. Here's a seedling mandarin. The leaves are looking sad. The stem has not died back yet. Look at dill. I thought this dill has frozen, and it kind of did freeze back, but look how it's jumping back. As soon as the temperature came back to 65 in here, it's jumping back. I planted this dill like a month and a half ago. It's now December 18th or so, 19th. There's a seedling blood orange. Surprisingly, you know, the tips look like they died back, but the leaves still look like they're okay. Here's a cold hardy lemon Dunstan seedling. The tip has died back, but the rest of it looks okay. Here's another seedling blood orange with Tennessee citronella grafted to it. So this pushed out a lot of fresh growth just before winter hit, and so that got zapped, but the stem seems fine. So that's my quick update. I have more cold hardy citrus right there. Some of the cold hardiest citrus doesn't taste any good, but I can use it for rootstock. But one that's probably worth considering is Prague Satsuma. Prague Satsuma, some say it's a chimera, which is like, it's not even a hybrid, it's like a graft combination where the bud is like halfway mixed between what the variety was and then what the variety was grafted to, and somehow the two combined without actually hybridizing, creating a citrus that has characteristics of both, but not a true hybrid. I don't know if that is true, but I don't know if somebody can prove that, but it's basically what they say the Prague Satsuma is a chimera. Very cold hardy, tastes just like Owari Satsuma, very similar, but a lot more cold hardy. So something to consider. Another good one is Dragon Lime and Thomasville Citronmello. However, Thomasville died outside for me last year, and so I have not tested Dragon Lime or Prague Satsuma outdoors yet. So that's still meant for the future. We'll see. So yeah, that's the avocado tree, Mexicola, going downhill at 15 degrees. Lila surviving. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys.